Hello everyone, I am Miss Binita Kumari Singh, student of 3rd professional year of Lakhimpur College of Veterinary Science, and today we are going to study about hormone, mechanism of action of hormone, regulation, transport and metabolism of hormone and its uses in therapy. So let us see the content. First we'll see the introduction, then the key points of hormone, its function and regulation, classification of hormone, the hormone of pituitary gland, hypothalamic hormone, thyroid and parathyroid hormone, pancreatic, adrenal and gonadal hormone, hormones, chemical nature and mode of action, mechanism of action and regulation of hormone, transport and metabolism of hormones, hormonal therapy and its uses. So, the word hormone is derived from a Greek word called hormene, which means to stir up. A substance of intense biological activity is produced by cells in the body which transports through circulation to act on its target cell and is secreted by endocrine or ductless glands. Hormone regulate body functions to bring about a programmed pattern of life events and maintain homeostasis in the face of markedly variable external and internal environment. Hormone regulate body functions such as growth, development, metabolism, reproduction, aging, fluid and electrolyte balance, etc. The body functions and hormones regulating it. First of all, availability of fuel. Hormones responsible are insulin, glucagon and growth hormone. Insulin is secreted by beta cells of pancreas. It facilitates the movement of glucose which is present in the blood in order to make the glucose reach the cells. Insulin is also responsible for storing excessive glucose. Insulin decreases the glucose level in the blood. Glucagon, it reacts antagonist to insulin and it increases glucose level in blood if it drops. They break down the glycogen to form glucose molecules. Growth hormone regulates the growth of the animal. The next is somatic growth, and the hormones regulating it are growth hormone and insulin-like growth factor. The next function is regulating the metabolic rate, and the hormones responsible are triiodothyronine, that is T3, and thyroxine, that is T4. Metabolism is to convert the complex molecule into simpler molecules so that our body can utilize the simple molecule. For example, protein as such we cannot utilize it, so it is metabolized into simpler form, that is amino acid. The next function is sex and reproduction, and the hormones responsible are androgen, gonadotropin, estrogen and progesterone. Next, it also regulates the circulating volume, and the hormones responsible are aldosterone, antidiuretic hormone. Aldosterone causes increase in blood pressure. The next function is adaptation to stress, and the hormones responsible are glucocorticoids and adrenaline, hormones secreted to overcome stress. The next function is calcium balance. The hormones which maintain the calcium balance are parathormone, calcitonin, and vitamin D, and others. So now let us see the classification of hormone. According to source, hormones are classified into various groups. First, we will see the pituitary gland hormone. There are two parts of pituitary gland, that is anterior pituitary gland and posterior pituitary gland. The anterior pituitary gland contains three types of cell. Those cells are acidophilic cells, basophilic cells, and chromophobes. Chromophobes is considered to be in resting stage, while the other two types secrete hormone. The acidophilic cells secrete growth hormone, and the basophilic cells secrete follicle stimulating hormone FSH, luteinizing hormone ACTH, TSH, and probably prolactin. The hormones of pituitary gland are: first we will see the hormones of anterior pituitary and the target organs. Gonadotrophin, that is follicle stimulating hormone FSH, and luteinizing hormone LH, and the target organs or cells are ovaries and testes. Then thyroid stimulating hormone TSH, and the target organ is thyroid gland. Next, adrenocorticotrophic hormone, and the target organ is adrenal cortex. Next, somatotrophin STH or growth hormone, and the target organs is the somatic cells, liver, epiphyseal cartilage. Next, lactogenic, that is prolactin or PL, and the target organ is developed mammary gland. Next is melanocytotrophins or melanocyte stimulating hormone, and the target organ is melanocyte in the skin. Now let us see the hormones of posterior pituitary. So the first hormone is oxytocin, and the target organ is smooth muscle cells, particularly those are estrogen primed. Next, vasopressin, which is also called as ADH, and the target organs or cells are blood vessels, renal tubules. So number 2, the hypothalamic hormones. They are secreted from a group of specialized cells located in hypothalamus, hypothalamic nuclei, to stimulate production and release of anterior pituitary hormones, or to be stored in the posterior pituitary. Those acting upon anterior pituitary are either releasing hormone or releasing factor RH or RF, or release inhibiting hormone or release inhibiting factor RIH or RIF. So let us see the hypothalamic regulating hormones. Hypothalamic regulating hormones are, first of all, we will see the releasing hormone or releasing factor. Number 1, gonadotrophin releasing hormone GnRH, thyrotrophin releasing hormone TRH, somatotrophin releasing hormone SRH, corticotrophin releasing hormone CRH, melanocyte stimulating hormone releasing factor MSH, prolactin releasing factor. Now we will see the release inhibiting hormones or release inhibiting factors. Somatotrophin release inhibiting hormone, melanocyte release inhibiting hormone, and prolactin release inhibiting hormones. So these are the hypothalamic regulating hormones. Now we will see the thyroid gland hormone. T3 and T4 are proactive or active hormones out of the 4 iodinated tyrosine which are mentioned below, and the C cells of thyroid gland secrete the hormone calcitonin, which regulates the level of calcium, phosphorus, and partly sodium and potassium in blood. Thyroid gland hormones are thyroxine, T4 or tetraiodothyronine, triiodothyronine that is T3, diiodothyronine T2, monoiodotyrosine T1 and calcitonin. These all above four are iodinated tyrosine, from which T3 and T4 are proactive or active hormones. Next we'll see parathyroid hormone. Parathyroid gland hormone is parath hormone. It is secreted from parathyroid gland and possesses osteoclastic activity. Vitamin D is very necessary for its action. When the body lacks calcium, this hormone uptakes calcium from bones to blood. So, we can say that it has antagonist activity to calcitonin. Now, we will see the pancreatic hormone. Pancreas acts as both endocrine and exocrine gland. Insulin regulates the level of glucose in the body, and the hormones secreted from pancreas are insulin and glucagon. Number 6, adrenal hormone. So we all know that there are two portions of adrenal gland, that are adrenal cortex and adrenal medulla. The cortical portion secrete hormone to regulate the blood glucose and certain minerals, while the medulla portion secretes neuroendocrine emergency hormones. Hormones of adrenal gland. The hormones of adrenal gland are again subdivided. First we will see the cortical hormones and then we will see the medullary hormones. The cortical hormones are glucocorticoid, that is A, corticosterone, cortisone or hydrocortisone, B, mineralocorticoids, that is desoxycorticosterone or aldosterone, and the medullary hormones are adrenaline, noradrenaline and isoprenaline. Now we will see the gonadal hormone. The male gonads are testes and the female gonads are ovaries. So let us see the hormones. First we will see the hormones of testes. They are testosterone, androgen and estradiol, that is also called as estrogen. And then the hormones of ovaries, that is from the theca interna cells of Graafian follicles we have estradiol, estrogen, esterone or estriol, and from the luteal cells of corpus luteum we have progesterone. Now, at first we learned about according to classification of hormone according to source. Now we will see according to chemical nature. We have two types, that is protein or peptide hormone, and examples are all the hypothalamic, pituitary, thyroidal, parathyroidal, pancreatic, adrenomedullary and gut hormones belongs to the protein or peptide hormones. And next we have steroidal hormone. An example of steroidal hormones are gonadal hormones, and adrenocortical hormones are steroid hormones. Now we will see according to mode of action. We have three types. The first is kinetic hormone. Those who are secreted by neural means stimulate smooth muscles, and their secretion are regulated by neural feedback loop. An example of kinetic hormones are oxytocin and catecholamines. And the metabolic hormones, those which regulate the chemical mechanism of the body, for example insulin, glucagon, parath hormone, calcitonin, thyroxine. We have earlier seen that insulin and glucagon regulates the glucose, parath hormone and calcitonin regulates the calcium level, and thyroxine regulates the metabolic rate. And the third is endocrinokinetic hormone, those which act upon another endocrine glands to produce the desired hormone for action. An example is trophins. For example, all the hypothalamic hormones, they act on the pituitary gland to release or inhibit their hormone. So they comes under the endocrinokinetic hormone. Now we'll see the most interesting part of the chapter, that is the mechanism of action of hormone. So overall mechanism of action we'll see in 3 steps. First of all, we'll see the location of receptors, then we'll see the mechanism of action through second messenger and through gene activation, and then we'll see the overall effects of hormone complex. Location of receptor. What is hormonal action? Hormone does not directly act on target cells. First, it combines with receptor present on the target cells and forms a hormone receptor complex. This hormone receptor complex induces various changes on reaction in the target cells. So first of all, we must know what is hormone receptor. Hormone receptors are the large proteins present in the target cell. Now, each cell has thousands of receptors. Important characteristic feature of the receptor is that each receptor is specific for one single hormone. That is, each receptor can combine with only one hormone. Thus, a hormone can act on a target cell only if the target cell has the receptor for the particular organ, and that is why the hormones are present in the blood, but it does not act on each and every organ and it is specific. So let us see the receptors. This receptor either may be present on the cell membrane, and examples are all the protein hormone except thyroid hormone have receptors on cell membrane. The receptor also may be present in the cytoplasm. So the example of cytoplasmic receptor is receptors for steroid hormone are located in the cytoplasm. And lastly, the receptor which are present in nucleus is nucleus receptors, and receptor for thyroid hormone are located in the nucleus. Here in this picture we can see the protein hormones and catecholamines. The receptors are present in the membrane, and the thyroid hormone, the receptor is present inside the nucleus, and for steroid hormone the receptors are present in the cytoplasm. So all the hormones have different mechanism of action because of their presence of receptor. Now, before studying the mechanism of action of protein hormone, we must know what is second messenger. Cyclic AMP or the other second messengers execute the action of hormone inside the cell by stimulating some intracellular enzymes like protein kinase A. Cyclic AMP produces the response depending upon the function of the target cells through the enzymes. Cyclic AMP produces one or more of the following responses, that are contraction and relaxation of muscle fiber, alteration in the permeability of cell membrane, synthesis of substance inside the cell, secretion or release of substance by target cell, and other physiological activities of the target cell. Now, we have 4 second messenger systems recognized, and these are cyclic AMP. An example of hormones which utilize this system are epinephrine, norepinephrine, glucagon, luteinizing hormone, follicle stimulating hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone, calcitonin, parathyroid hormone, and antidiuretic hormone. Protein kinase activity: insulin, growth hormone, prolactin, oxytocin, erythropoietin, several growth factors. Calcium or phosphoinositides, epinephrine and norepinephrine, angiotensin II, antidiuretic hormone, gonadotropin releasing hormone, thyroid releasing hormone, and cyclic GMP. An example of hormone which will utilize this system is atrial natriuretic hormone or nitric oxide. So first we'll see the formation of second messenger. On reaching the target cell, the protein hormones combine to a specific receptors present in the membrane. The hormone receptor complex is formed. It activates or inactivates adenyl cyclase through stimulatory or inhibitory action of G protein. Now, G protein consists of three subunits, that is alpha, beta and gamma subunits. Here, the G proteins get activated when the hormone receptor complex is formed. Now, the bigger subunit, that is alpha unit, will get separated from the beta and gamma subunit. The alpha unit will go and activate another enzyme, adenyl cyclase enzyme. When adenyl cyclase is activated, it converts cytoplasmic ATP into cyclic AMP, which then works as second messenger, and the hormone itself remains the first messenger. So we'll again see epinephrine comes, it makes a hormone receptor complex in the membrane, then the G protein gets activated. It has three subunits. The alpha subunits get detached and it activates the adenyl cyclase. The activated adenyl cyclase converts the cytoplasmic ATP into cyclic AMP, and then later on this cyclic AMP acts as second messenger. Earlier we saw the formation of second messenger. After the formation of second messenger, cyclic AMP then activates a chain of enzyme. It creates cascade and it will produce protein kinase, which will further perform the breakdown process, such as breakdown of glycogen into glucose. So when the protein hormone comes, they reacts with the receptor present on the cell membrane and they form the hormone receptor complex. Because of the formation of hormone receptor complex, the G protein gets activated. The activated G protein then releases the alpha subunits, and the alpha subunits activates the adenyl cyclase. Then the activated adenyl cyclase converts cytoplasmic ATP into cyclic AMP, and this cyclic AMP acts as second messenger. After that, the cyclic AMP produces protein kinase, and that protein kinase affects on the other cellular functions, such as breakdown of glycogen into glucose. Adenyl cyclase stimulates G protein for stimulatory activity of hormone like ACTH, ADH, beta adrenergic, calcitonin, CRH, FSH, glucagon, HCG, LH, LPH, MSH, etc. And it inhibits G protein for the action of acetylcholine, alpha-2 adrenergics, angiotensin II, opioids, and somatostatin. Now we'll see the mode of action of thyroid and steroid hormone. It is a bit different from protein hormone. Due to their low molecular weight and lipid solubility, the steroid and thyroid hormone can easily pass through the cell membrane. The steroid hormone forms hormone receptor complex inside the cytoplasm and moves inside the nucleus then, and the thyroid hormone forms hormone receptor complex inside the nucleus. Then this complex undergoes conformational changes called activation and enters into the nucleus. The hormone receptor complex moves towards the DNA and combines with the DNA. It activates the transcription of specific DNA to form mRNA, messenger RNA. This messenger RNA moves out of the nucleus and activates the ribosome. The activated ribosome then produces large quantity of new protein. These proteins produces physiological responses in the target cell. So, the steroid hormone passes through the cell membrane, form complex in the cytoplasm, move inside the nucleus. The thyroid hormone form hormone receptor complex inside the nucleus. This hormone receptor complex undergoes conformational changes that is called activation. Then this hormone receptor complex moves towards the DNA and combine with DNA. It activates the transcription of specific DNA to form messenger RNA. This messenger RNA moves out of the nucleus and activates ribosome. The activated ribosome then produces a chain of new protein, and this protein produces physiological responses in the target cell. So, overall effect of hormone complex. The overall effect of hormone complex may be summarized as: the plasma membrane permeability may be increased to glucose and amino acid, and the hormone causing it is, for example, insulin. The hormone may increase the ion fluxes. For example, aldosterone promotes sodium influx into the distal convoluted tubular cells and increases efflux of potassium and hydrogen ion. It may increase permeability to water. Antidiuretic hormone receptor complex behaves this way and increases permeability of the cell of distal convoluted tubule and collecting ducts for reabsorption of water. It may affect cell metabolism by changing the activity of rate limiting enzymes. Or the hormone often promote protein synthesis at different sites by increased entry of amino acid into the cell, enhanced nuclear transcription, and enhanced ribosomal transcription. Now we'll see the regulation of hormone secretion. There are various factors regulating hormone secretion. The first one is feedback mechanism. The mechanism of mutual regulation of hormonal activity between two glands is called feedback systems or servo mechanism. The feedback mechanism can be further classified into positive feedback mechanism and negative feedback mechanism. We all know that hormones maintain homeostasis, so if some hormone is increased, it must be needed to decrease, and if an hormone level is decreased, then it must be needed to be increased. So, for example, in the positive feedback mechanism, if the hormone level decreases, signal is sent to the hypothalamus that the hormone level is decreased. It then sends signals to anterior pituitary to increase the further production, and then anterior pituitary increase the further production of the hormone, and thus the hormone level increases in the blood. And same, if the hormone level is decreased, then signal is sent to the hypothalamus that the hormone level is increased. Then the hypothalamus sends signals to anterior pituitary to decrease the formation of the particular hormone. Anterior pituitary decreases the formation of the particular hormone, and thus the increased hormone level is maintained. Now we have a third type, that is metabolite feedback mechanism. Here the rate of release of hormone may be influenced by change in the plasma level of non-hormonal chemical substance, that is metabolic. For example, if insulin reduces, then the level of glucose in blood while glucagon increases it. So if the level of glucose is increased, then insulin reduces it, and if the level of glucose is decreased, then glucagon increases it. An increase in the level of glucose in blood signals for release of insulin, while a decrease in the level of the same metabolite signals for the release of glucagon. So this is the metabolite feedback mechanism. The other factors are influence of the higher centers. The higher centers of brain, under the influence of environmental factor, regulate the secretion and release of various hypothalamic hormones, which have an intrinsic diurnal rhythm set on them by the former. Light affects the reproductive cycle of certain animals and birds. For example, anxiety and fear affects the release of gonadotrophins. The next factor is peripheral nervous control. Any fearful sightful affecting visual cortex signals to the cerebral cortex, which through its intricate fiber in the descending tract may affect the preganglionic sympathetic fiber to the adrenal medulla and consequent release of adrenaline. And last factor is genetic control. Genes also play their role in hormonal regulation is evident in animals, since fast growing animals show increased output of pituitary somatotrophins. Now we will see the transport and metabolism of hormone. Protein hormones are generally stored within the glands in which they are produced, but the steroid hormones are released with production and are not stored. Hormones are carried in the plasma, partly bound to protein and partly in free form. The plasma contains specific carrier protein for steroid hormone and thyroxine, and termed as corticoid binding globulin, sex hormone binding globulin, and thyroxine binding globulin. The protein bound hormone is inactive and probably serves as stored buffer stock. The free hormone is active and is actually responsible for hormonal activity at the target cells. Liver is mainly responsible for metabolism of the hormone. They are also metabolized in the target endocrine gland and in the tissue on which they act. Liver conjugate the hormone to make them inactive or less active. The hormones which are conjugated, degraded, and the traces of free ones pass out through the kidney and appear in the urine. The last topic is hormonal therapy. Hormonal therapy or hormone therapy is the use of hormone in medical treatment. The treatment with hormone antagonists may also be referred to as hormonal therapy or anti-hormone therapy. The most general classes of hormone therapy are oncologic hormone therapy, hormone replacement therapy, androgen replacement therapy, oral contraceptive pills, and transgender hormone therapy. Now let us see the uses of hormone in therapy. Hormonal therapy for cancer. Number A. Androgen deprivation therapy for men with prostate cancer. Estrogen deprivation therapy for women with estrogen receptive positive breast cancer. High dose of estrogen therapy for women with estrogen receptor positive breast cancer. Hormone replacement therapy (HRT) is also known as menopausal hormone therapy, is for women suffering from menopausal symptoms. It involves the use of one or more group of medication designed to artificially boost hormone levels. The main type of hormones involved are estrogen, progesterone, and sometimes testosterone. The next is androgen replacement therapy. In males with low level of testosterone due to disease or aging, it is a hormone treatment often prescribed to counter the effects of male hypogonadism or who have lost their testicular functions to disease, cancer, or other cause. Oral contraceptive pills for various purposes including birth control. Feminizing hormone therapy in sex reassignment therapy for transgender women and masculizing hormone therapy in sex reassignment therapy for transgender men. Growth hormone therapy for hormone deficiency, thyroid hormone replacement in hypothyroidism, antithyroid therapy in hyperthyroidism, glucocorticoid or mineralocorticoid replacement in conditions such as Addison's disease, anti-glucocorticoid therapy in Cushing's syndrome, insulin therapy in type 1 diabetes. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching. If you like it, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.